Now it's my pleasure to introduce County Executive Jessica Fitzwater. Many of us remember when Executive Fitzwater was a county councilwoman, and she was the lead introducer of the climate emergency resolution along with Kai Hagan, who was here. There he is, Kai Hagan, who was the co-sponsor, and they were great to work with and got the resolution passed, and the rest is history. Well, the rest is forming. So, Jessica, thank you for being here.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so pleased to be here, and thank you so much for including me in today's agenda. This event has been jam-packed with incredible presentations, discussions, and exhibits, and it's so impressive to see how this summit has grown in just its second year. So congratulations to Mobilize Frederick and all of your partners. It's really remarkable what you all have already accomplished, so congratulations. I want to thank Karen and Renee for just their presentation and for taking on the co-chairing the data center work group. It's been really a wonderful pleasure to work with you, and it is a complicated topic, as you heard, so I truly appreciate both of your leadership. I also want to recognize County Council Member MC Keegan-Air, who is here. I really appreciate your partnership as well, and I'm glad that you're in attendance today. Looking around this room and at your agenda for this event, I cannot help but be so proud of our really special community here in Frederick County. Everywhere I go, I talk about the incredible partnerships that county government, our municipalities, our nonprofits, our private sector, that we all really do work together to make things better for the people of Frederick County. And that is a reason to hope, and there are a lot of reasons to hope here in this room. And I know there's just more to come tomorrow. And I just have to say that I am in awe of the incredible team of volunteers with Mobilize Frederick and everyone who was involved in planning this summit. What started as a grassroots conversation several years ago led to a climate emergency resolution in 2020 that I was honored to work on with my former colleague Kai Hagan. Then an incredible work group of over 60 volunteers who put hundreds and hundreds of hours, I was going to say countless, but they actually counted them. But then I didn't want to get the number wrong, so I said hundreds and hundreds, into the Climate Response and Resilience Report of 2021. That report now drives much of the work within our Division of Energy and Environment and many of their partner agencies across county government. But that was not enough. This incredible group of change makers set out to establish Mobilize Frederick to hold Frederick County government and the community accountable for meeting the goals that we set for ourselves in the resolution and in the report, and to educate the community along the way. In such a short time, look at what has been accomplished and look at where we are headed. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so excited and honored to be part of this work in my role as county executive. When I took office just over a year ago, I highlighted 3 pillars of my administration: accountability, transparency, and sustainability and inclusion. I truly believe that every level of government has a role in promoting sustainability in our work. And to me, sustainability means addressing the root causes of climate change through enterprise-wide and community-wide short and long-term planning. As the saying goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. But Frederick County government is charging ahead with efforts to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. I'm thrilled to announce 2 initiatives from our Division of Energy and Environment to speed up the use of electric vehicles by the county and by the public. First, we're launching our alternative fuel vehicle fleet transition plan for county government. In our 2018 inventory of greenhouse gas emissions from county operations, 41% of those emissions came from the transportation sector. So if we're going to meet our pledge to reduce emissions 50% by 2030 and 100% by 2050, we must plan a transition for our fleet to alternative and lower emission fuels. Frederick County government has already begun conducting this work. Staff from across all divisions have assessed our county vehicles and which are suitable for replacement with EVs or adoption of biodiesel. Across operations, we see this not only as an opportunity to do our part in carbon cuts, but also lower our long-term fleet costs. The resulting alternative fuel vehicle fleet transition plan showcases that our county divisions are adaptable and dedicated to facing the greatest challenge of our time head-on, which we all know is climate change. This plan implements several recommendations from the Frederick Climate Emergency Mobilization Work Group's work that is shown in our 2021 CRRR by outlining how we can deploy electric vehicles, integrating a biodiesel blend of 20%, and installing EV and biodiesel equipment between 2024 and 2036. From sedans to transit buses, we can transition our county fleet to low or zero emission vehicles in a responsible way. By making this plan a priority, we can cut over 29,000 metric tons of emissions by 2050. That's the equivalent of over 2,000 homes' annual energy level uses. We can also realize over 12 million in vehicle operations savings over 25 years. So I believe that county government can and should lead by example and demonstrate the viability of climate goals, encouraging other jurisdictions and businesses to make the switch to alternative fuel vehicles. That leadership is important because to truly move the needle, we need our entire community engaged. So like the problem itself, the strategies to address climate change really do involve everyone. So we're also announcing our community-wide electric vehicle readiness plan. We're pretty excited about this. The EVRP serves as a roadmap for adapting our infrastructure and anticipating the needs of our residents, our workforce, and visitors as we transition to more sustainable technologies. The readiness plan also includes an inventory of current and projected charging needs, as well as an examination of the costs, challenges, and benefits of community EV adoption. I'm proud of the inclusive and robust work of our Division of Energy and Environment as they conducted this community-driven plan. By engaging a stakeholder advisory group and collaborating with large employers, utility providers, and community organizations, this plan sets Frederick County up to leverage federal and state funding to accelerate EV adoption and equitable access to EV charging infrastructure. Importantly, this plan dedicates necessary attention to identifying potential barriers to EV adoption and policy considerations to address those barriers. For far too long, local planning and policy making has left out communities, leading to disproportionate burdens of pollution and environmental injustice. Our team used localized data and mapping tools to highlight the areas in our community that have faced inequities in transportation-related pollution, and the plan identifies ways we can encourage EV adoption as a way to decrease emissions and pollution in those communities. As we undertake this once-in-a-generation shift in transportation and technological innovation, we must be intentional in our inclusion of our entire community. So it's clear that we have our work cut out for us in Frederick County government and throughout our community. But with these two plans, we are turning sustainability ideals into meaningful and measurable actions. As our transportation infrastructure evolves, we not only pave the way for greener vehicles, we also support innovation and economic growth. Our goal is to ensure a resilient future for Frederick County's businesses and residents. But that's not all. From preserving tens of thousands of acres of farmland to taking a responsible approach to data center industry to working towards a microgrid on our new Prospect Center campus that will actually help to make sure that we have a true resiliency hub in the county. From doubling down on our investments in bikeways and trails capital programs and establishing the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission, to putting smart growth into action with our proposed South Frederick Corridors plans and preparing to open our first ever Office of Agriculture. We are committed to making real progress as we continue to respond to our ever-changing climate and preserve our environment. We're also committed to keeping the community engaged. So I'm going to take this moment to do a little shout out to our Division of Planning and Permitting. I know we have some of our staff here, but next Thursday, February 8th, at the Prospect Center on Himes Avenue from 5 to 7:30, we're having a first of its kind very large community outreach event with our Division of Planning and Permitting, where you can learn about livable Frederick, agricultural preservation, historic preservation, and to fill your nerd buckets, you can sign up to do some planning exercises and see what our planning staff engages with as they're doing their work in the community. So I encourage you all to attend. There is a lot of work to do, but we are here for it in Frederick County government, and I know that by working together, we can do our part to address the climate crisis. Thank you all for the honor of speaking with you today, and thank you for everything that you do to help us reach our vision of a Frederick County where everyone can live, work, and thrive. Have a great rest of the summit.